buy our first homes with a gift from our parents to purchase that home, right? And so creating that generational wealth, I don't think my dad was sitting there in a corner crying about the 11 and 12% interest rates. He was more excited about the fact that he could be a homeowner in this country. So it was either that, because at the time my mother was pregnant with me. Three of my siblings were born in Italy, and two of us, because you got to pop out a couple of American kids, I guess. I don't know, but nonetheless, the landlord noticed my mom was pregnant and said, "No, no, no, you can have 5 dogs, but you can't have 5 kids," and kicked them out. And that's when they struggled and saved and did to own that first home. Ironically, my father would never rent to anyone with pets, but he had his own issues there. Nonetheless, having your own home, not being told where to go, how to get there, rising interest rates, my ass, just like the title says, either you pay someone else's mortgage or you pay your own. And no matter what's going on, gas prices raising, all that's going to happen, and your rent's going to go up, and then what? And to Brandy's point, well, then what's the next option? Homelessness, right? So owning your own home and creating, generational wealth and creating equity and options, which they also give you, choices that you otherwise would not have as the years go on. The fact that it's a conversation or an argument as to whether or not you should buy now, to me, is just absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, this is Miki. Miss Ashanti. Have a moment. I'm happy to speak.
Absolutely. So we're going to Miss Ashanti. We're going to Miss McKee. Byron, I need to hear from you. Miss Abena, please, please, please. And Crystal. I think we got to hear from Ben, too. So, Miss Ashanti, what's going on, Queen?
Hey, Lewis, my fave. No, I think this was a really good conversation, but what I was going to say, Brandy said, sorry, y'all, and she, knocked it out of the park as far as, why you buy a home and the options to be able to have it cash flow, not just sit on it. And I think that's what we're talking about here. Louise, the thing that I like so much about you is, yes, you're a realtor, but you really give people buying strategies. And what I mean by that, I remember I told you that the first time you came in our room, is you don't just tell them, okay, let me help you buy this house, and it's just one transaction. You're telling them to buy this house so they can then leverage it to do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And so, yeah, if it's just a realtor that's talking about buy a house because they just want a commission, that is terrible. But if it's someone like you and RB and a lot of the other agents that actually say, no, I'm going to help you with your overall strategy. I'm going to help you to understand why this is possible for you. If you're interested in this and you have the discipline, then I think that's great. And that's why, one of the reasons why I brought Jeff up to the stage is because he also educates the community in a whole lot of ways. And just even this conversation, it may have been passionate, but I think it was great, because if there was an individual that was in the audience who was considering either side what was saying, when you guys came to a conclusion, that was awesome. Now they understand that it's possible for them. So hopefully you guys do get a chance to work together. But what I was going to say just about making a home an asset is just so important. And I'll give my own example. So my condo, you guys can check it out on my Instagram. I just paid the mortgage off on that, I guess about 2 months ago now, and I turned it into a long-term rental. And then I did move into an apartment that I'm renting, but I'm turning this into a short-term rental because my plan is to have this place turn into a short-term rental and then move out of state and then just continue to buy and then possibly refinance some of my other properties. But I think it's how you buy and what you do, exactly what Brandy was saying, so I don't have to say that again, but again, that's why I brought Jeff up, and that's why I think you guys can partner, and that's why I think that conversation between specifically you and Jeff was so legendary, because hopefully people replay it and listen to it again to find the nuggets that you guys left on what they should do and how they should do it. So this was a good conversation, Luis.
I appreciate you, Queen. Byron, what's up, man?
Man, what's goody, man? What's good, man? It sounds like I came in right on the skillet. You know what I'm saying? I came in right while the skillet was still crackling. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to mess around and get hit with no fish grease in the eye. While the conversation was going. You understand what I'm saying? That fish grease can mess up an eye. But here's the thing, man. You know what I'm excited about? Real talk, Luis, and that's the reason why I've been in meeting after meeting after meeting, and I kept seeing this dang on room title pop up, and every time I saw it pop up, I wanted to jump out my meeting and come and see what was going on in this room. But what's so exciting about it, Luis, is I'm getting ready to enter into a new space, right, called the Build to Rent space. I've done it before, but I haven't done it at scale that I'm getting ready to do it at now. I'm taking massive investments. We're getting ready to build about 28 different units. And this is pretty much our own endeavors, our own funding on this particular deal. We are going to be looking for partner investors on our next couple of deals. But what I'm excited about, Luis, about this space is we're building affordable housing, right? And the reason why this title stood out so much to me is that at the end of the day, even if the interest rates are going up, it really doesn't matter, because in the space that we are in, it's almost kind of like that we're the last of the dying breed, and we're coming in to build more of the last of the dying breed, meaning we're building a dodo bird, and you can't find that particular product in the marketplace being built at scale as much anymore, period, from that affordable housing standpoint, because most of the housing that a lot of builders are building now are either in that upper echelons area. So I would recommend that everybody start paying attention to that space. Even if you're not a builder, right, start looking for investment opportunities in that particular space, because I believe that it's going to be probably one of the last frontiers to be able to just really make some decent, good money in the real estate space moving in the future. I really believe that, because here's the deal. You got a situation where it's not a lot of new product, right? So you're dealing with lower levels of product, right? You're also dealing with higher interest rates that are most likely not going to go back down anytime soon, if ever. So you're dealing with that, right? Which means that it's going to be an even steeper barrier to entry into this new home market, right? So you got two issues: higher interest rates. Already builders are not building in this space unless they're building it to rent. You also have a lot of millennials who are looking to experience life more so than own where they live as much. So you have a mix of things that are happening all at the same time that I believe is going to make a lot of people extremely wealthy if they jump on this train. So our plan is to go into this particular space. We're going to do partial Airbnb, and we're also going to do traditional rents. And the reason why we're going to do traditional rents is because we know that we can kind of somewhat depend on that, and if we can scale the Airbnb as much as possible, because we'll have our own little communities. We'll take, like, let's say an acre or a half acre, and we'll build our own little community in that little spot. And when you have that level of control, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. So that's what I'm extremely excited about. Literally being able to cash flow ridiculous, and maybe even incorporate some of the peel method, right, on some of those deals to pay down some of that interest rate, while at the same time cash flowing ridiculously crazy. So if anybody is looking to get into that space, reach out to me, because I really feel like